Hey, what's going on YouTube, and welcome to this video on the Cisco 8821, a YouTube world premiere. Now, if you're wondering why I say that when it's the middle of September of 2017, well, I was actually kind of surprised. When you do a YouTube search as of right now, let me show you. All right, so if you just put in a Google search, Cisco 8821, you can see there's only one result from some guy from Cisco Live back in 2016, posted 7 months ago. Oh wait, that was me. As you can see, then the very next video is the evolution of Cisco wireless IP phones, which basically just covers the difference between the 7920 through the 7926. And each passing day that goes by, I don't see any YouTube videos on this phone. Makes me wonder if anyone actually has them or if there's any interest. Now, 5 years ago, I did post this video on the Cisco 7921 versus 7925, where I compare some of the features when I was doing my CCNA voice studies and I was using it as a home phone. And there was a comment in there saying that someone wanted one, and it was ironic. That was about a month ago because I had actually ordered one. And originally I was going to do a full unboxing, but it turned out because I got a really good deal on it, but it turned out it didn't come with the battery. So even though it was brand new, it wasn't actually true. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of the differences and just my first-hand experience with it in case you're interested in it. So then at least there'll be something on YouTube about this phone. And to start, we'll actually compare the 7925 to the 8821 because these two are closer resemblance. I have the 7921 there as an honorable mention. Only because these are the same original phones from years ago and everything still works perfectly. I've been using them as home phones and never had any problems with them. Battery's been fine. So they're pretty durable. The only difference is this one, the 7925, I have a third-party stand for this. As you can see from my previous video, I just had a regular USB cable plugged into it to charge it. But since then, I ended up getting this stand third party because they wanted, like, I think it's $120, $130 for a base station like this that has a speaker on it. And they look exactly the same. The only difference is the connection type on the bottom. So, and I think I got this for like $30. Now, just from a pure data sheet perspective, some of the main or key differences are the wireless antenna, of course. The 7925 has a ABG radio, whereas the new one has ABG, N, and AC. There's also some voice over WAN communication support, and there's some additional device-specific configuration in the call manager configuration, which we can look at. Has a slightly bigger screen. It's 2.4 inches versus 2.0, running at 240 by 320. The 7925 has the IP54 rating for dust, dirt, and things like that, whereas the 8821 has the IP67 rating. Both have HD or wideband audio. I usually use G722. And I'm not 100% sure if this one has full duplex speakerphone. I rarely use the speakerphone functionality on it, but this one does. So when you're talking in speakerphone mode, if you ever get clips sometimes when both of you are talking at the same time, that's when it's half duplex. Full duplex, you both can be talking at the same time. The 7925 has the Bluetooth 2.0 and the 8821 has Bluetooth 3.0. And according to the specs, the 7925 goes up to 13 hours of talk time, whereas this one has a minimum of 13 hours talk time. Now, with all three of them, I've never had a problem with standby time, talk time. I think this one was like 110 hours or something standby, because there's been times where I forget to put it on the charger and it'll be off the charger for 2-3 days for all of them, and it's never been an issue. It still works every time. I don't talk on the phone often, but when I, talk to family, which are usually my longer conversations, I never get, low battery or anything. So they're pretty robust. The 8821 does have some additional encryption features, SHA-1 and SHA-2 signatures, and 802.11r and Cisco centralized key management for roaming. And one of my favorite things about it is if you go back and look at my previous video, you can see here that the headset jack I had needed this special, I don't remember the size offhand, it might be 2 millimeters or something like that, but it's those really skinny headphone adapters. And so I had to use this special adapter for one particular type of headset. And of course I don't have my regular headphones offhand, but just want to show you the new one comes with a standard 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So I have a million of them, just none down here, but as you can see, you can plug regular headphones or earbuds, whatever you want, like that use with your cell phone, unless it's a new Apple. So that's probably one of my favorite features on here, because yes, you can use Bluetooth, but just like how I forget to put these on the chargers sometimes, my Bluetooth headsets will stay on, or forget to turn them off or put them on the charger, and those die a lot quicker. And so it's nice to go back to wired whenever you want, so you don't have to hold it up. And last but not least, they still have the application button, which you can program XML push to talk, for example. Now, if any of you know how to natively get push to talk to work with Call Manager, Unified Communications Manager, full platform, let me know, because everything I've found so far has been third-party applications. I did find some white papers on setting it up in Call Manager Express, but it would be kind of cool to set it up with natively in Call Manager if you can do that. Now, some of you young whippersnappers probably won't know much about the push to talk, but in the early 2000s it was a pretty cool feature on cell phones back when no one cared about data and it was all about the minutes, because then you could use a walkie-talkie feature. Now, for us technical engineers and IT techs, there are actual practical use applications like this commercial clearly demonstrates.
IT.
Problem.
Try rebooting.
Already did. Meeting in minutes.
Run utilities.
Not good.
Alt FX.
It's getting worse. Something's happening.
Hit escape.
There is no escape.
Problem solved.
What?
Replaced.
How'd you do that?
Coast to coast walkie-talkies get it done. Nextel.
So that way, if you have one of these, you're always prepared. And again, you can do this across all three. The fire extinguisher is sold separately. And for most other people, the push to talk is probably considered a primitive and more intrusive version of texting today. Because nowadays, like if you're at the grocery store, you'll see people with their phones and they'll hit their push to talk button and say things like, "I am at the store, period. Milk is on sale, exclamation point. Do you want some, period. Backspace, question mark. Send." That's probably what people consider push to talk nowadays. And you would get a nice little chime and you can read it. But now, back then, and with this, it's more of a page. So you can't, if you're in a meeting, they can be like, "Hey, I know you're there," So there's some pros and cons with it, but like I say, at least us network engineers have use cases for it. Now, speaking of sold separately, the base stations do come separately. To give you a closer look, I'm going to try to record with another camera and see if I can do some post-editing here. Okay, so as you can see here, you got your built-in speaker, mute. There's an extra battery if you have if you need one. And the only kind of cool thing I think with this is it's magnetized, so it kind of just latches into place. However you set it, it just latches into place, which is nice. And then of course it can be used for speakerphone and also amplifies the ring when a call comes in. And as you can see cosmetically, the 7925 on the left has a red flashing light for message waiting indicator, whereas the 8821 has that green flashing light. So as you can see here, the 8821 is a little bit larger. The numbers are more symmetrical. I guess look more modern. I did have this phone out before and someone asked, "Oh, you still have one of those?" Thinking it was like one of those Nokia phones. But I'm like, no, it's a Cisco Wi-Fi phone, yo. And as you can see from the side, it's pretty much the same. The headphone jack is now on the top, and the fact that it's 3.5 millimeter, that's huge. And the screens are pretty much the same. They just changed the icons. As a matter of fact, the 7921 and 75 have the exact same screen setup. So here they are in all its glory. Now when it comes down to should you get the 8821 over the 7925, some of that is going to be depending on your setup. What version if you're using Call Manager Express, what version are you using? If you're using the Communications Manager, what version are you using? The 8821s are only supported in version 9.3. I forget exactly. That Cisco Live video, he told me. But the point with that is version 9 through 11 doesn't have the free call manager anymore. So up to version 8.6 is where you had the license that didn't expire. Now it's either 6 months for the demo license or the included 60-day license. So that may be a factor in your decision as well. But overall, if the version supports both, I would definitely go with the 8821. Like I say, I haven't had any issues with any of these, but the 3.5 millimeter jack is very nice. So far, using it about a month, I haven't really had any issues. Occasionally, after about, I want to say 20 to 30 minutes, when I'm obviously on Wi-Fi, going through a hardware VPN to one of my family members' house, and to the E20. Sometimes I'll lose audio with that specific scenario. I had similar issues when I was calling from any of the newer like the DX70 to the 7985, so when it was skinny to SIP on the newer devices. Had the same type of issue with those, but other than that, I haven't had any issues with it, and it's been a really good, reliable phone. So if you have any questions or like me to cover anything else, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Hold that.
Let me hold that.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?